Oh,
And we are live! Hey everybody, and welcome to Ch1Con Chat! Sorry we're a few minutes late. As usual, we have technical difficulties. But we are here now, and we are so excited to bring this chat to you tonight. If you do not know what Ch1Con Chat is, Ch1Con is the Chapter 1 Young Writers Conference, which is an annual writing conference by and for teens and young adults. And Ch1Con Chat specifically is a monthly feature that we do where we talk to you guys on YouTube about things concerning to writing and reading and being young writers and readers. And it's super fun, I promise. We are going to go around first and introduce ourselves so that you know who is talking at you, and then we're going to get started with the chat. This month's topic, kind of in honor of NaNoWriMo, is plotter versus pantser. So we're going to be talking about different types of writing, basically. And yeah, so do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
I guess I'll start because Brett is like
because I'm not here.
Yeah. So my name's Ariel. I am the associate online administrator of Chapter 1Con. I'm a second-year student at Sarah Lawrence College, and I've written a bunch of novels.
My turn.
Yeah.
I'm Brett. I am a writer who's been writing for about 4 years now. I write young adult fantasy novels, and I am a pantser through and through. And for some reason, my camera is not working, so I'm going to try to fix that. But for now, you just get to see my lovely profile picture.
And isn't it lovely?
It's like 3 years old.
Yeah, that is our technical difficulty of the night. We've been trying to get Brett's camera to turn on, and it just like won't work. Google hates us. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm Julia. I am the founder of the Chapter 1 Young Writers Conference. I'm a senior at the University of Michigan. I'm a creative writing and literature major, currently in the middle of completing an honors thesis in creative writing. And yeah, that is basically it. So we're going to get started. If you want to ask us questions or comment at any point during the night, you can do that by using hashtag Ch1Con on Twitter. That is the letter CH, the number 1, and the letter CON. And we are going to get started. Yeah! Okay, so first question of the night. Are you a plotter or pantser or some combination of the two?
Should I start?
We've got Brett back.
I think I'm here. I think I'm here.
Almost.
I'm not gonna jinx it, but I think I might. Nah!
Ah!
Why?
Too soon.
I give up. Ariel, I think it's your turn.
Okay. Well, I used to be like 100% a pantser. I would literally just start writing words, not knowing where I'm going, and then make up a plot like halfway through. Just write like random scenes, and then like chapter 10, I'd be like, I should have a plot, and then make up on the spot. But then I decided that's not a great idea. So
Probably
I started
not.
coming up with like a plot at the beginning and like an outline in my head, kind of. Which I think is what most normal pantsers do. They have like a tiny kind of outline in their head, but I was just like, anyway. So yeah, and now I'm gonna probably my next book I'm gonna have like at least like a skeletal outline or something, because I cannot just do I can't have this disorganized mess anymore. I love disorganized messes, but like it's too much. So yeah, so I'm a pantser trying to convert to plotting, I guess.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I've been a pantser for forever, since the very beginning. And this last one, my nano novel, I decided that I was going to write out an outline. So I have an outline for this one. I've already scrapped one character, like he just doesn't even show up. So, yeah, I have an outline, and I don't know if I'm going to stick to it or not. So I'm kind of attempting to be a plotter, but I don't know if it's going to work.
It's just funny. I think we're all like kind of in the same boat right now. Like pants are semi-converting to plotter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been a hardcore pantser. I used to have no idea at all ever where anything was going. And then my past few novels, I've started kind of having a vague idea where things were going, but it's always like I kind of want like this kind of ending, but I have no idea how I'm going to get to that. So then I'll like make it up as I go to get to that point. But my current thing that I'm doing for NaNoWriMo, I've like restarted it so many times. I have basically outlined like the first half of the book because I've written it like 5 times already, and now I'm just rewriting it again.
Nice.
But I still don't really know how, like, where the climax is gonna lead or anything. I know how it's gonna end. I just don't know how to get to that point. That's basically, yeah, how I've been working the past couple books. This one especially. Sorry, I'm very rambling.
So am I.
The next question is, what are your favorite parts of being a plotter or pantser?
Okay. Oh, right. I'm first in the alphabet.
A.
Okay. So I guess like since I'm like semi both, my favorite part about plotting is like when I have writer's block, I have something to rely on. So it's not like I'm just like, well, I have writer's block, guess I'm just gonna do nothing, which is what I usually do anyway, but that's because I'm lazy. Like, so, I don't have a real reason to do nothing. But my favorite part about pantsing, because I still kind of do it, like, I still, like, even if I have an outline, a beautiful, perfectly done outline, I'm still going to be writing something and be like, what would be better? Not that. And then I make up some other thing. So I love that because it's like, you get to have that moment of using your imagination and writing at the same time. So it's like you're actually being the character. That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I also like that I can just do whatever I want, no matter what. Like, there's no rules whatsoever. So it's all spur of the moment. I can just do whatever I want. And yeah, I don't know. I'm super rambly tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the no rules part of it. Like, it just like feels like such like control almost, and being out of control in like this other world that you've created.
Yeah.
Like, it allows you room to explore, and like it's really fun. From like a plotting perspective, though, I do have to say that like knowing what's happening is also useful. Like when I am pantsing things, I'll have so many pointless scenes that like
Oh
I
god.
know I'm gonna end up
So
cutting.
many pointless scenes.
So many. Like, I literally, my editing file was just like the pointless scene cut like 50 times. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, like my last book that I like heavily worked on, I ended up cutting. At this point, I want to say 40,000 words from it that were just pointless
Good
scenes
job.
from
Oh my
the
gosh.
first draft. Like, that's a third of the book.
That's a lot of the book, yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens when I pants things. I'll have all these things that are like, and then my characters went and got ice cream. It doesn't affect the plot. It's just really fun.
I've literally done that. I've literally had my characters get ice cream before.
Mine don't really do that since I go in a fantasy world, but they do tend to like go off on random side quests, and like sometimes they'll like find a magical sword or whatever for no reason, and then the magical sword just like ends up not doing anything. It's just the magical sword that the main character now has because he found it on this random side quest.
That's the other thing, when you have like, you're like, I'm going to totally do this subplot, and then he just falls off. And you're like, oh, I guess there's
So
no point in
many
that one.
Yeah, because you forget
Yeah.
to weave it through, or when something comes in like at the very end of your novel, and you're like, now I have to go weave that in the entire
Oh my
novel
God.
because
Yeah.
your character tells you something. It's the worst.
Or like, every once in a while, I'll have the opposite problem, where like, towards the end of the novel, I'll like be like, oh, I was thinking of maybe doing that subplot. I've done absolutely no work towards it for like the entire novel, but I'm just gonna throw it in here at the climax.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this character came back from the dead, yeah!
Yeah, no, I had my one main character in one book told me when I was like maybe a couple thousand words from the end, he told me that his mother had been killed by the dragons, and that's why he wanted to kill the dragons. The entire plot of the book. And I was like, Ryan, you can't do this to me.
Yeah.
I have like maybe 5,000 words left to write. Like,
Oh,
it was the very end.
painful.
Yeah, it was so bad.
The other thing that happens sometimes when I pants things, like I have this one book, Ariel, you've read it, Dreamcatcher.
Dreamcatcher!
Like, literally just doesn't have a plot. The entire book does not have a plot.
Just like randomly runs off and does stuff.
Nice.
And like half the book is like the antagonist chasing my protagonist and like the series of identical scenes that just happen over and over again. Like, oh, we're just gonna chase each other in a new locale now. like,
Hey, that works.
I mean, but yeah, so like that's the other thing that happens when I pants things is I just either you end up with too much plot or too little, where you just there is no plot.
I had like the book I'm working on now. It started as just like a procrastination project, so it didn't really have a real plot until I was working on it for like 2 months, and I was randomly like, okay, I guess there's prophecy about the destruction of humanity, which is kind of important. So, like, so the first like 5 chapters are, you know, of the first draft are so bad because I didn't consider having a real plot at that point.
Nice.
Yeah.
The funny thing with that is like, I remember reading the first draft of that and being like, this is amazing! I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah, it's so terrible because
not even realizing you had no plans.
A lot of people, because you should not put first drafts online, a thing that I did not realize for a while. But like so many people commented on the first draft of that, like, this is so amazing. And I'm like, I changed a lot. Is it still amazing now? Like,
oh my gosh. Yeah, first drafts, like, cause like I don't know about you, Brett, but Ariel and I have like all of our first drafts from growing up are all online.
Terrible. I write in Evernote and let my critique partners read over my shoulder while I write. So,
I guess that's worse while you're writing.
Well, okay, so it's not that bad because they get to tell me the things that I'm messing up before I reach the end of the book. So, like, this one problem I had, one of my critique partners was like, no, you need to fix this now, and I was only, like, 200 words past that point, so I just went back and changed it, and now I've got it right for the rest of the book. So,
that's pretty good.
It's actually working out well, and it works well because we're keeping each other motivated. So, like, I'm reading hers and she's reading mine, our nano novels, as we're working on them, so we're keeping each other motivated, and it's really awesome when your critique partners are squealing over your main characters while you're still writing it. It's been pretty motivating.
The attention is fun. Like, that's the main reason why I posted stuff online when it was not ready. But
it was always like, tell me how amazing I am.
Yes.
I mean, I know that that's not like your situation.
Yeah,
when I was 14, though, that was my main goal in posting.
Yeah, it still is really fun when people tell you how great you are. Especially, like, now looking back, I'm like, why did people like this?
Right?
I know it's because they had, like, lower standards because it was online. But, like, I'm like, you wouldn't read this if you picked it up as a published book. Like, this is terrible.
I also think I just had lower standards of, like, what I would read in general when I was younger, though, because I didn't understand things. I feel like
me too.
I didn't understand grammar, therefore I didn't notice that someone had really bad grammar, and, like, same plotting and character development, basically anything else.
Yep. Yeah, that's so true. There are things now that I loved when I was a kid that I go back and read, and I'm like, why did I like this?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. No.
Okay, I think we've kind of covered the next question. It was, do you ever have trouble due to being a plotter or pantser?
Yeah, I think we covered that.
Yeah, trouble.
I wonder what, like, I'm not a plotter, but when I try to plot, the problem I generally run into is I just don't have motivation to keep writing, or that I feel like very restricted to like follow an outline if I made one.
Right.
But I don't know if actual plotters have those problems, or if I just have that because I'm a pantser who's like trying to use a plot.
Right. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
the good thing about being like a hybrid thing is that you don't have to feel as bad. I guess like you don't have to feel bad about leaving your outline. If you're reading your outline and like, oh, I don't want to write this, you can just be like, okay, well then I'll write something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I do that.
I have to say, like, even as a pantser, like, I'll be in the middle of writing a scene and, like, just have, like, the next, like, 3 sentences figured out and then be like, no, that's all wrong, I have to redo it. Like,
Yep.
that's like the extent of my plotting abilities. I redo things constantly as I'm going.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Something I do that it's kind of with the hybrid thing is a lot of times I will bullet point the next couple scenes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Just so that I know like where I was going when I was writing this part. I don't know.
Yeah,
If that
I
makes
definitely
sense.
do that, especially like once I'm getting into like the second half, like
Yep.
heading to the climax, because then at that point it's like I don't know, there's just so much stuff that you have to fit in at that point that you have to very much remember what you're doing to like get it in the right order and everything.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. I do that too.
I bullet point the end too, actually. From the
Mhm.
very beginning I have a bullet point of what the ending should kind of sort of
Oh,
look like.
That's a good
interesting.
idea.
Now that I think about it, I do that. It might not be like on paper, but in my head I'm like, okay, in the end, this,
Yeah.
this, and this. And
Yeah.
then sometimes I'll go down and bullet point it on paper, but
Yeah.
I
What's
like bullet
really
points.
what's really fun with my current nano novel is like so I have like 3 main characters and I know where 2 of them end up at the end of the book, but I don't know where the third one ends up.
Oh no!
She's a wild card and like if I'm having fun with her, I'm like she could do literally anything she wants to.
Yeah.
Like we'll see. Maybe she won't be alive at the end.
Oh no. Oh no. Don't kill your main character. Please don't.
But she kind of came out of nowhere. I had like these 2 planned main characters, and then like this third character is just like, I feel like being a protagonist. I was like, okay.
I hate when that happens and love it. Mostly hate it. Mostly hate it. But
I
yeah.
mostly love it just because like it usually means those characters are wonderful.
Mhm. Yeah, she's
True.
my favorite. Like I like her so much better than my narrator.
Yeah, I have that too. I mean, one of my characters that in my first draft everyone said, "Oh, she's the worst. I hate her." And I was like, "Oh, she's not so bad." And then I was like, "Wait a minute. She's actually amazing. How dare you hate her?" And now she's one of my more main characters and I love her so much. I
Nice.
want to write a book about her now. Like
I love when like annoying characters are the ones that are the nearest to me.
yeah.
I tend to do like dual point of view books, so both my main characters are my narrators, so I tend to love both
Yeah.
of them
Me
equally.
too.
And they usually end up together in the end. Almost always, like 99% of the time,
Yeah.
they end up together in the end, so I love them both.
Yeah.
I don't have any random main characters who may or may not die at the end.
Yeah, so I've written 5 novels. Yeah, I've completed 5, and 2 of them have dual perspectives, and like that's so much fun to play with. Like
It is.
Yeah.
And like, what do you tell from which point of view? And it's like,
yeah, and like who knows what at what point in time,
Yes.
and like
and who are their closest allies, and do those allies know each other? Like,
yeah.
my
Yeah,
nano
that's
novel
super
right
fun.
now is the 2 point of views are Lucy and Zach, and Lucy's best friend is dating Zach's best friend, and like the best friends, like they all grew up together with Lucy, but Zach is this unknown. So I know nothing about Zach. He's like this totally wild card. I've got all of Lucy and Nate and Amy's backstory, but this other point of view character is a total wild card. So I have no idea what's going on with him, but it's super fun, like how the 4 of them interact, because the others knew each other.
Mhm.
But so it's been interesting, like how they play with each other, and then just like the random pantser details that show up because my characters tell me things like crazy.
Yeah, that's so much fun. The two books that I did with the dual perspectives, they're both in like a series I ended up never finishing because I realized how terrible it was partway. But like the basic concept was that this like teenage spy boy like gets sent to this high school because the organization he works for thinks that this girl is a terrorist. And so it was like him as one perspective, and then the girl who he thinks is the terrorist is the other perspective.
Why
And in
didn't you
reality,
finish
she's
it?
like, huh, what?
Why didn't you finish this? This sounds awesome.
It was very poorly written. I might go back to it someday and rewrite it,
You
but
should. Sounds good. Did they end up together in the end?
oh, obviously.
Yeah, there's never like two characters that are
Yeah.
employed without.
That was, I mean, obviously they have to.
Yeah. But like the girl was like this totally normal, like not spy person, like not terrorist, and she'd just be like, "He's so hot," and he'd be like, "She's gonna blow up the country."
That's perfect. That's so perfect. Sounds like my kind of novel. When you rewrite it, I want to be able to read it.
Okay, I will keep that in mind. If I ever do rewrite it, it'll be very far down the line because I'm still at the point where like it like disgusts me to think about how terribly written it was.
I know. I'm the same way with my first one, which I don't count in my list of completed novels. I don't count that first one.
Oh.
If I
That's
counted that first one, I'm at 4, but I don't count that one, so I'm at 3.
Was that horrible book about someone with 17 siblings? Then you will never be horrible my first book.
Okay, no.
That one, Ariel.
That
No.
would actually make more sense for you to write because you have a bunch of siblings. But no.
I do. I do. And they're currently driving me nuts.
My first
Wait,
book was really bad.
We have to hear the plot of this one too because it's amazing.
Lyra Frank, which is Ariel backwards, is Lyra, is the main character, and her giant family. Her dad is a director. His movie gets canceled, and then Lyra says, "Why don't we make a movie about our family that has nothing to do with the plot of that movie, but we'll just call it the same title?" And then they are all making a movie about their lives, and she also goes to middle school, and it's terrible. And she likes cooking, and there's like 1,000 subplots.
Of course. I mean,
Yeah.
there's with 17 siblings. I mean, that's a subplot for each of them. Plus, you know.
Like
Was there
the
a
first
cooking
chapter
thing in
was
that?
literally like little profiles for each of them.
Nice.
There's like a paragraph's worth of information about all of them. That was just the first chapter.
Nice.
No one would want to read that. Why?
That goes at the end. You know, you just take that first chapter and stick it on the end. Start with the second chapter.
Yeah.
But wait,
that I'm not rewriting.
there was like a cooking subplot, right?
Yeah, there was a cooking subplot. She was in a cooking class, and she was a chef. Like all the kids had like super talents, and her talent was that she was really good at cooking. And then her older sister was really good at poetry, but because she was insane, she had this super loud alarm clock. And then Lyra went in and like beat her up in the morning, and their parents punished them by saying, "Lark, you can't write poetry, and Lyra, you can't cook," for like 2 weeks or something.
Nice. That.
Oh my gosh, I remember all of this.
Why did you guys read it? Why did you read it?
I loved that book.
Oh god.
What I will say for all of us though, like for all of the terrible writing we posted online, at the least like we all had really good like voice from the start. Like, I was thinking about
that's
it, like
true.
like all of our old writing at least like sounds like us, and I think that's why we all liked each other's writing so much because like we could hear each other in it.
Yeah, that's true.
You can forgive a lot of things if there's good voice.
Alright, moving on. Oh my gosh, we've just like answered all these questions. Have you ever tried writing a novel using the other format? If you're a pantser, then have you ever tried to plot a novel?
Yeah,
what happened as the result?
Yeah, that would be no. I have never plotted a novel. Most of my novels started as procrastination projects from what I was supposed to be doing, so I guess the only novel I plotted in 5th grade, I came up with an idea and I wrote down a plot, like a basic plot outline, and yeah, but I still basically pants it. So no, I've never plotted a novel.
I'm trying with this Nano novel, but like I said, the character that was supposed to show up in chapter 1 didn't show up. So I'm not really sticking to my outline for some reason. I'm not really sure what's happening with it, but it's all cool.
Yeah, I've attempted plotting novels quite a few times, but I've never successfully finished anything I've plotted because, as mentioned, I just like get really bored with it. I feel like if I know what happens, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the fun for me for writing a novel, like what makes it actually bearable, is like that in between thing where even if I know the ending, I don't know how I'm gonna get there. So it's like the fun of trying to figure out how to get there.
Yeah.
It's like solving a puzzle.
Even if it makes you want to bang your head against your desk a lot.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that like in Fangirl, the professor is telling Kath, or Kath is telling the professor, oh, writing your original work is like falling off a cliff or trying to hold on to something. And the professor says, that's so much fun. And Kath says, no, that's terrible. And I was like, no, Kath, that's the fun part.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, how can you not like that?
See, the real problem here is that Kath was viewing writing as a pantsing activity when she naturally is a plotter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Okay, and we are already hitting the last pre-submitted question of the night, which is, what are your tips for writing as a plotter or pantser?
Forget everything and just write. Yeah. Pantsing is really more of an instinct, I think, and just knowing what's right for your story. So it's not really something you can have tips for. It just either comes naturally or it doesn't, I think. And I'm not a plotter, so I have no tips for plotting. Sorry.
I kind of agree. I'm like, just don't be afraid too much because, like, do what comes naturally to you and don't, like, listen to people saying you have to do it this way and then try to do it that way and end up failing. Like, if you're naturally a pantser, don't be like, well, I guess I have to do an outline and then be terrible at it. Or if you're a plotter, don't be like, oh, no, I can't do it the way I'm planning. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just, like, don't be afraid to do the stuff that works for you. Just get yourself to the end of the book however you get there. And then editing is when you suffer.
Yes. Lots of suffering.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to second that one. Be willing if you. I mean, I obviously don't have any plotting tips either, but from a pantsing perspective, like, be willing to write the pointless scenes and don't feel like they're pointless while you're writing them. Like, even if you know that they're pointless, be aware of the fact that they're helping you ultimately get to the end of the first draft, which is what you need to do. And then you can go back in the second draft and actually make it a real book.
Yeah. Because the first draft isn't a real book. It really is just the bones.
It's like word vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about it the other day, like, the way that I write books, like, if the book is a wooden chair, basically I have to grow the entire tree and then carve the chair out of it.
Yep.
Like, I start out with this huge mess of words, and then I slowly narrow it down to what will actually be what I'm aiming for.
Yeah.
Anything else? I feel like
Can't think of
there has to
anything.
be something else to say.
I know. Normally this takes longer because there's more of us.
Yeah, it's been really fast to go through answers. There's only 3 of us tonight. Everyone's kind of stressed out and overworked at the moment.
I've been sick for the past 3 days, so I was just glad I wasn't nauseous tonight.
Oh yeah, I forgot. How are you doing?
I haven't puked it all the day, and I've eaten 9 saltines, so I'm great.
Oh, congrats.
Oh, I was not even aware.
All day. 9 saltines. So I'm great. I'm not nauseous at all, which
Being
is
sick
more than
is
I
like-
can say for the past 3 days. So
Oh, well, I'm glad you're starting to feel better.
yeah, me too.
I can't handle this. I'm like, I should have given you tea through the laptop or something.
I have my ginger ale here.
Oh,
So
good. Okay.
I don't even like soda. I don't like the bubbles or the taste, but so you know it's bad when I've got this stuff. Like this is me attempting to not be nauseous since it's been a lousy 3 days.
Oh.
Speaking of not feeling well, do you guys remember Saturday night in the write-in when I was complaining about having too much tamarind in my
yeah.
Mac and cheese, yeah.
You mean turmeric or wait?
Turmeric, yeah,
I
sorry.
thought it was turmeric.
Oh my gosh, turmeric is what I meant. I just like spewed word vomit on you. So it turns out I'm allergic to turmeric.
Oh my gosh.
That's not good.
So this is good though, cause like I've always like since high school I've had a reaction to the smell of Indian spices and I've never known what causes it.
Oh, well,
I know which spice
so-
I guess you know now.
Now we know what causes it. But yeah, I I had the flavor in my mouth for like 3 days. Like I just couldn't get rid of it, and it was like making me want to throw up the entire time because like the flavor had made me nauseous because I was having an allergic reaction to it. So then tasting it was then just making me nauseous all over again, and I was like, get out of my system.
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, that's not fun.
Yeah. So
So are we just gonna leave the chat live and just like
we should probably pull this off now that we have told everyone about
I was like, whoops.
And that is how you pants a chat.
Yes. Dancing in its finest form.
We tried to have an outline, but we strayed from it.
We just told everybody how sick we've been for the past 2 days. High five us.
Now, if this was a book, we'd be able to edit this afterwards
I know.
and make it good. But instead, it's a live chat, which means it's just like this.
Sorry, guys. We did not intend for this to happen. Just happen.
And on that note, okay, I think we're gonna shut down the chat. All right, thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully, you're feeling better than we've been feeling. Hopefully NaNoWriMo's going well for you. If you are competing, if you're not, congratulations on being able to sleep this month. I'm very jealous. If you want to tweet us any more questions after the fact or anything, you can tweet at us using hashtag Ch1Con, or you can email us at chapter1conference@aol.com, or you can check out our website at www.chapter1conference.com. The link should also be in the doobly-doo if you're watching on YouTube. And yeah, thank you for joining us. If you're interested in attending the 2016 Chapter 1 Young Writers Conference, we have announcements coming soon, and it's very exciting. We've been like sitting on stuff for a while now, where it's like a lot of stuff was like in the works but not quite official, and then like it's almost all set up and done, and we can like announce things, and it's very exciting. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. I hope you have a good night, and yeah, okay, bye guys.
Bye.